I've never been here during the day. I'm not sure sunlight does it any favors.
But just imagine the isles and adventures lying just beyond your view, Astarion.
The harbor is at its most splendid when the sun is high. The light dances on the water, the sails snap crisply in the breeze, and the smell of the fish heads is sweet as berries.
We should speak to the innkeeper. Sleep indoors for a change. Really live it up.
I am loath to pay for accommodations in such a vulgar establishment. But if we are to rest here, we must.
Let's speak to the innkeeper first. He won't take it well if we help ourselves to a room.
Even I am partial to having a roof over my head now and again. Perhaps the innkeep can assist us.
In my experience, it's best to pay for the beds before sleeping in them.
Alan keeps passable rooms if we need somewhere to lay our heads. Bedbugs of the domesticated kind.
Wouldn't mind sleeping under a roof for once. Let's find the innkeeper. We're worth it.
If we need rest, the beds here might prove sufficient.
Are we to rent proper lodgings? Perhaps a fire to guard Boo's buttocks from the cold?
A warm room, a cozy bed. I should check with the innkeep.
Let's take things nice and gently. I'd rather not blow up if it's all the same.
You and I both. Let's just stay very calm, very serene. The last thing we need is to set this place off.
Oof. Karlach and explosives. Not a good mix.
Confounding inventions. Who can take joy in something that terrifies animals?
Millennia breathing his own broken wind. Small wonder the Jinn went mad.
What in the hells? Hello? Let me out!
Rather cozy, actually, as pocket planes go.
So, what's all this?
Oh, Ogma's idle arse, not again.
Cozy, but let me out.
I am a noble daughter of House Bainray, and I refuse to believe I am inside an Iblith Strajan lamp.
Hello? It's a little cramped in here. Can someone give this thing a rub?
A portrait of Gortash. Can't say I'd want him watching me eat my supper, but each to their own.
Is that Gortash? Gods. He just gets everywhere, doesn't he?
The noblest scion of the Flim dynasty. I'm sure Gortash displays his parents' image just as proudly.
Their devotion to Gortash is impressive.
What misguided thinking would compel someone to have a portrait of Gortash in their home?
Has the Archduke mandated a shrine to his false smile in every household?
Who is this blanched little man-boy? Gortash?
Gortash's parents give his portrait pride of place, but he allows them to live in squalor. A curious family.
Ugh, that's got to be bad luck.
Is that Gortash? Of all the leering mugs to have on your wall.
The man should be burning in hellfire, not painted and framed.
A picture of Gortash. They must be very proud of their boy.
If they must have likeness, perhaps we can simply mount and stuff his head.
Anyone have some throwing knives? I've found a nice target.
Even upon canvas he seems to taunt.
His smile looks more genuine rendered in paint than it does in the flesh.
Had I raised one such as Gortash, I would not be so keen to advertise it to the world.
I used to spend a lot of time in alleys like this. Of course, I lurk less these days. A big empty seat, just waiting for the right person to fill it.
Nothing more dangerous than an empty throne. Except, perhaps, being the next to sit in it.
It caused much bloodshed, but a throne such as this shall not remain empty for long.
So much bloodshed to fill that single seat. It will not remain empty for long, I'd wager.
Bit of a power void now. I'm expecting blood. But not mine.
Nine Fingers' throne of the seat lies empty. May a purer bottom next polish its planks.
It's no throne, but Nine Fingers' seat would suit me extremely well.
A fine seat. Would suit someone with ambitions. And a ruthless streak.
The seat's empty for now, but I wager a good dozen thugs have their eyes set on it already.
The seat won't go empty for long. Such are the politics of power.
What an ugly doll. I'd only give this to a child I didn't like. That doll? Why does it look so creepy?
Not a creepy doll. Oh, that's just awful.
Look, Boo! This doll has a beady little gaze like yours, and it follows you? Ugh.
Interesting looking doll. Might give a child nightmares if that's your goal.
What a curious figurine. Not a child's plaything, surely.
That doll's behind Mayrina's curse. It's too creepy not to be.
This doll. I do not wish to meet the child who finds comfort in that.
Huh. Interesting little fella.
That doll there. Something's off.
This doll. Boo can smell a curse upon its unclean linens. Mayrina's. Not just the usual aroma of camp.
That doll is hideous. Haunting. Vile. It must be modeled on a human child.
So dies hope. If we might have called her existence living.
God, we truly are hopeless.
So much for hope. There's probably a lesson in there somewhere.
Be free, Hope. If you can.
She's gone. The House of Hope no longer. Hope is gone, but the fight is not yet lost.
She is no more. This place shall need a new name, it seems.
Shit. Raphael snuffed her out just like that.
We should return to the archive and see what that devil has logged away.
That's the end of hope. A little on the nose, Raphael.
Ah, the phrase to unlock our treasures. Best get to the archive if we want to use it.
So, all it takes to lift the archive's dome is a few magic words. Excellent. I'm rather good at those.
A magic keyword, huh? That'll help us get what we need.
A portal to Luskan. I have never ventured so far northwards.
Ah, Luskan. The city of sails, wrecked by the spell plague. Now best avoided.
Luskin was a fine city once. Well, it was a hive of pirates and vagabonds. That's fine by me.
Luskin. Perhaps the only place less welcoming than the Hells.
Knew a guy from Luskan once. Wouldn't mind saying hello, but I don't think my engine would survive the cold.
This one leads to Luskan. There is a creche hidden near it, or so my Savage once told me.
Luskan. Minsk hears it is ruled by a drow with a very stupid hat. But so it goes with many rulers, no?
Luskan. The drow mercenary Jarlaxle was headquartered there, last I heard.
Luskan. Can't say I know much about the place.
Luskan, city of sails, split by the River Mirrah. The waters are clearer than even the Chionthars, if you can believe it.
Athkatla, the capital of Arm. One of the richest cities in the world. I wouldn't mind visiting someday.
Leads to Athkatla, the city of coin. Raphael certainly gets around.
Athkatla. I was poisoned when last I was there. Still an improvement on Raphael's hospitality.
Athkatla, capital of Arm. Wouldn't mind checking it out someday.
Athkatla. I believe the streets are lined with giant lamps, lit every evening.
Athkatla, capital of Arm. Not a city overly fond of wizards. Their loss.
Athkatla! Stay where you are, Boo. You went a-wandering there once, and I still do not know where you went.
Athkatla, city of coin. If only the portal were open, we could steal its riches.
This leads to Athkatla. Perhaps I'll see it for myself someday.
Athkatla, capital of Arm. When I was young, my friends insisted its streets were paved with silver and gold.
Now Waterdeep is worth visiting. So many people with deep, deep pockets.
Waterdeep. Gods, I wish I could go home.
This leads to Waterdeep, second only to Candlekeep as a scholar's paradise.
Waterdeep. They say it is second only to Baldur's Gate in its splendor. So, no thank you.
Portal to Waterdeep. Heard they've got the best cheese in the realms.
Waterdeep. Githyanki use a portal like this to travel to labyrinths beneath that very city.
Waterdeep, a city of liars. There was not nearly so much splashing as Minsk was promised.
Waterdeep. I was once told it is everything that Baldur's Gate is not. Civilized, for a start.
A passage to Waterdeep. The Mother Superior used to talk about this place.
Waterdeep. I've fond memories of visits with Father, but I'd never made a home there.
Ah, Baldur's Gate. Home sweet home.
Baldur's Gate. Raphael's portal. This must be how he goes back and forth to the city.
Raphael's passage back to Baldur's Gate. He shall soon return, I assume.
Oh, this is how Raphael has been flitting to the city and back. Too much to hope that we might redirect it into an ocean somewhere, I suppose.
I think it says Bladder's Gate, Boo. We should not go there.
The way back to Baldur's Gate. Raphael will be returning through here before long.
Baldur's Gate. Home sweet home.
A portal to Menzoberranzan. Thank the gods it's not working.
Menzoberranzan. City of spiders. Who's caught in Raphael's web there, I wonder?
Ah, Menzoberranzan. A beautiful city sprouting from Underdark. A shame about its loath-loving residents.
This leads to Menzoberranzan. Takes me back to my misspent youth.
Menzoberranzan. Drow City.
Menzoberranzan. We owe Lolth a visit someday, Boo. The Spider Queen has many eyes for the snacking.
The Drow's stronghold of Menzoberranzan. Its pillar clock is legendary even in the astral plane.
Home. Gone forever. Forgive me. I did not expect to see my city's name today.
This leads to Menzoberranzan. The Drow city must be quite a sight.
Menzoberranzan. Not the sort of place you can just stroll into.
Mephistar. The ice citadel of an archdevil. As hellish as it gets.
A passageway to Mephistar, the frozen citadel of Mephistopheles. Not a destination I yearn for.
Mephistar. Home to Hell's own library. Now, wouldn't a Harper love to spy some of the secrets held there?
Mephistar. Is it any wonder Raphael has quick access to the Cold Lord's citadel?
Mephistar. Home to another archdevil. Not for all the wine in Kalimshan.
Mephistar. Home of the archdevil Mephistopheles. Raphael's brave to sneak around him.
A portal to Mephistar. Coldest of the hells.
A portal to Mephistar. I think I've had my fill of devilish strongholds, if it's all the same.
Mephistar, ruled by Mephistopheles. A silly thing, this using of place names as people names.
Mephistar, the home of Mephistopheles, and the center of the coldest of the 9 hells.
Ugh, Neverwinter? Why would you bother?
Even the splendor of Neverwinter must be tainted by Raphael's influence.
Ah, a passage to Neverwinter. Jewel of the North. Lovely as cities go.
Oh, Neverwinter. I had to break my cover there to stop a killing. The goat form was not kind to my dress.
Neverwinter. Bet it's beautiful that far north.
Neverwinter, the only northern port where the water stays warm. The elemental, says Boo. They are peeing in it.
A portal to Neverwinter. How I love the chill of the northern lands.
Neverwinter. Well to the north of here. The slates in our library at Kalir made mention of it.
Neverwinter. My mother likes the place. Says it's ripe for conquering.
Raphael has a portal to Neverwinter. Imagine what tricks he must get up to there.
That is quite the view. And a fine place to eject unwelcome guests.
Avernus. In all its bloody glory.
Best viewed from the safety of this balcony, I think. Relative safety, anyway.
Ugh. I don't know what I expected. Meadows and babbling brooks?
A view only the damnable and the diabolical could relish.
Quite a view. If not exactly a peaceful one.
A fine view, even if it smells all of sulfur. It is a stinky wind that holds this house aloft, Boo.
Spectacular. I would like to make a home for myself in the hells one day.
An impressive view, if not exactly a bucolic one.
Quite a sight. A terrible, sweltering, agonizing sight.
This place would fare better with some hanging plants.
Get me out of here.
Raphael prefers opulence to tastefulness.
Are all homes in the hell so gaudy?
The architecture and decor of this house is magnificent. Let's try not to bleed all over it.
Look at that thing. Raphael's taste in decor is surely his most evil trait.
Devil's magic bristles within this pillar. A power not meant for mortal casters.
Oh, I don't care for that at all. It's just unsettling.
An unappealing totem. Both ugly and costly, I would wager.
Devilish magic in here. I think I'm gonna vomit.
Boo recoils in horror. The pillar is a prison for trapped souls.
Rite of the timeless body. Jaheira's best days are behind her. Perhaps she intends to extend those that remain.
The timeless body. We should probably not be rifling through Jaheira's romances.
This is a ritual of the timeless body. Jaheira. Have you been playing with immortality?
Druidic magic, the sort Jaheira might take interest in.
The druidic means to slow the aging process.
Is this a ritual Jaheira intends to perform?
Nearly as good as immortality.
Scratchings. Of no account. Have no fear. The traps aren't meant for you. But, better to stick close, eh? Oh, by all means, help yourself. I'm sure there are some moldering socks to be ransacked, too. Pay no mind to those. You're probably safe so long as I am here. The only patch of wilderness this city permits me. There ought to be supplies here to aid us. A gift from my husband. I've had to renew parts over the years, but the heart remains the same as the day he gave it to me. This harper pin opens more doors than most. Come down to my study and see if you can figure it out. Haha, I wondered if it would take you long to spot. But if you do not trust me, take the weight from the pressure plate there.
You know this place, Boo. Minsk has never been invited. Aha! Jaheira's old weapons! They look strong as ever. Minsk should know. They gave him many bruises over the years.
Well, we've unearthed a disfigured corpse. I can't fathom why.
Gods! Someone died an interesting death. What a mess.
Some things are better left buried, like this corpse and the apparently grisly fate it suffered.
Not even a pack of hyenas would leave a carcass in such a condition.
What else was to be expected? Disturbing the graves of the dead.
We really need to stop doing this.
Better to bury this one again, I think.
Vile. I prefer putting people into graves than digging them out again.
Oh, didn't die from natural causes anyway. Remind me, why are we digging up corpses?
What a mess. This all seemed rather gratuitous.
I can feel the intestines delicately parting from my prying fingers, the supple kidneys greeting my inquisitive claws. I think this is my work from months past.
Once again, I find myself grateful our acquaintance is a more recent one, and less visceral.
Control yourself. There is enough evil in the world without you adding a further measure.
Control yourself. If you can.
I don't want to talk about that, all right?
You've fallen even further than I thought.
I do not think Boo and Pastiu would have been the best of friends.
If this is your work, you went about it enthusiastically.
I see. Well, I hope you're feeling more composed now, and that you washed up after this.
Gods, something tells me I won't be sleeping well tonight.
I knew my return to Baldur's Gate wouldn't be glamorous, but this is a little much.
What is not glamorous about this, Astarion? It is a fine place for adventure.
Oh, it's not so terrible. Smells rather invigorating once you're used to it.
Oh, this place stinks. It's enough to make a statue weep.
I'm no expert on water, but that looks lethal.
Oh, fouler than a hag's bathwater. Think I'll avoid a dip in that particular pool.
The water's as tainted as the tadpole in my skull.
I'll brave a lot of things, but I'd rather not wade through the city's wastewater, thank you.
Water looks brackish at best. Stay away.
Ugh, slimy as Imoen stew. Steer clear, boo.
That water looks foul. Do not sup upon it.
A wellspring of city scum for us to splash around in. Lovely.
The water looks diseased. Hardly surprising. This place is unsanitary.
Wouldn't even touch that water with Duke Portier's fingers.
A wooden mask? Not bad, but it's seen better days.
A Wicklaren face veil, worn by powerful witches in the Erlingwood wilds of Rashomon. The adornment of a skilled spellweaver.
A wooden mask. The sort worn by Rashomon's witches.
Ha! Even the Wicklaren's mask could not hide Dinah here's beauty, nor dull her daggered eyes.
This mask is beautiful. I envy the one who had the authority to wear it.
All over Rashomon, they raise statues to Dinah here. But this is Minsk's true monument to her. Her Wicklaren mask.
Ah, a warhammer. A beautifully messy weapon.
Mazzy Fenton. A living lesson not to trade tankards with a halfling. They have much less distance to fall.
Oh, wow. I bet that can do some real damage.
This hammer could shatter even the thickest of skulls.
It must take quite some brawn to wield a warhammer like that.
No ordinary warhammer. Carved with the Lyric symbol for the number 3. I wonder why.
Quite the warhammer. I imagine it's crushed more than a few skulls.
A warhammer like this cracks your skull, and you won't ever be the same after.
Mazzy Fenton. Ha! Not even the gods dare deny her when she sought to become a paladin.
Some discarded wings. All right.
The sylvan pinions of an Avarial. No easy task to capture their hollow delicacy in stone.
Wings? Were these plucked from some unfortunate celestial?
Ares' wings. She didn't need them in the end.
Aerie, a brave Avariel, who agreed to be my witch while I needed. She went in search of new wings.
It's a turnip. Just a turnip. For all to see.
All right. Explain the turnip.
A humble vegetable depicted amongst such adventurous company. That is a turnip for the books.
Not the most exciting of keepsakes.
A turnip? Or is it a Swede? Could never tell them apart.
A turnip? Not my favorite of nature's root vegetables, I must admit.
Jan Jensen. I admired his respect for growing things. Less so his disregard for his own ripe smell.
Is this animal, mineral, or fungus? I have not seen its like before.
A turnip? That's, something, all right.
John, a strange little man, but a fine friend. I can forgive him his love of turnips.
A mailed fist. For all your punching needs.
What tale does this have to tell?
There must be a story behind this.
The mailed fist of a paladin of Torm. No doubt many felt the steely grip of its wearer's righteous justice.
Brutal indeed, but I prefer weapons with a more elegant profile.
Geldorn Farkam. Oh, he tried to teach Minsk much. A happy thing that paladins are so patient.
Great for a paladin, not so much for a warlock.
Keldorn Firecam. He spoke much of honor and faith, but he fought like a berserker when it counted. Sorry if you heard me and Boo arguing. He says to love is better than to fight, and I cannot agree.
Think of love as a strong ale or a warm fire. Is the clang of steel on steel not made more satisfying by the pleasures that come after?
Maybe you should listen to the rodent more often. Exclusively, even.
I find it bewitching. Salty, muddy, a bit like a crash egg chamber.
The Githyanki must meet many giant space hamsters. But I bet they have never seen one as small as Boo.
Kalir traffics in all manner of exotic meals. Creatures. I am quite familiar with Boo's colossal cousins.
Giant space hamsters. An interesting form to take in wild shape, I dare say.
Unholy assassin. Yes, I do rather like the sound of that.
Is that better or worse than a holy one?
Not a title I would covet.
The tribunal can hang their title from another neck.
Ugh, disgusting.
Lae'zel of Kalir, unholy assassin. Honor or outrage?
It suits me.
Subtle.
No. This is not the path I was meant to take.
Minsk is no unholy assassin. He is full of holes. From assassins.
I refuse to be assaulted by furniture. Desist!
Hey! No! You do not throw furniture at your guests!
Nearly had my eye out. Who or what threw that?
What the... I am quite fine standing, thank you.
Hells! The furniture's gone flying!
I have no idea what is happening here, but I begin to grow impatient.
Boo, have we angered the furnishing somehow?
What the... That's one way to offer me a seat.
No mere artwork. This painting is cursed.
I don't know why I expected anything else.
A curse upon the canvas, summoning undead hordes. How fun!
I've heard of paintings bringing things to life, but this is ridiculous.
Oh, I hate art.
Either that's a remarkably realistic undead horde, or that canvas is cursed.
That's one way to silence your critics.
The curse still remains. This is no ordinary paint and canvas.
Curses! Quite literally.
So lifelike.
Gah! The art was foul enough before it tried to murder us.
I suppose I brought this on myself.
Damn it! Is this what critics mean when they call art dangerous?
Aha! Nice try, painter. But Karlak's on to you.
Now, to see what this portrait's gaze is truly focused on.
Marvelous. I've always admired art with both style and purpose.
Huh. The secrets are revealed. My eye is keener than this artist had anticipated.
This art, it is a thing of many layers.
I've always appreciated art, especially when it unlocks secrets.
A fine portrait. Seeing one's face committed to canvas is its own kind of magic.
I think it's a rather good likeness, warts and all.
An appealing rendering. Almost as good as your real form.
You look rather fine. Truly, art is an act of the imagination.
Wow. He really captured you. Beautiful.
The proportions aren't bad. The coloring's atrocious.
A fine and heroic likeness, though you lack a noble rodent on your shoulder. No, it's fine. Boo is not offended.
Oscar is a generous artist. He almost managed to make you look presentable.
Very nice. He really captured you.
Beautiful brushstrokes. I've seen the masterworks of Reuben Delgorg himself, and this portrait is far superior.
If I ever have a portrait commissioned, I too would like zombies to pour from it on command.
Who makes a painting that can do that? How do you make a painting that can do that?
Why would an ordinary painting have such eldritch defenses? Some strange curse is at work here.
What manner of dark magic had this artist gotten himself tangled in?
Perhaps I just don't understand modern art, but this painting's not entirely to my liking.
Yes, I think we have quite proven what happens when this painting is struck.
All right. So what the hell was this painter up to?
An artwork of breathtaking lunacy. I can't help but applaud it.
Endless hordes for the fighting. This painter's art style is more to my liking than most, Boo.
Artists are a peculiar breed. This one more so than most.
Not exactly the sort of thing that'll endear audiences to your artwork, is it?
I'm beginning to question the artist's taste levels.
I used to be the scourge of the hells. Now flowers can make me cry.
Flowers are so overrated. They're bright, gaudy, and almost never make good poisons.
The colours are frightfully vivid, but I've come to grow fond of Faerun's flora. Delicate stems growing from mighty roots.
Each their own, I suppose. Although I am right.
I agree with you, Astarion. We should torch this little patch of colour. It is an affront to the city's grim ambience.
Feel that? This house does not want us here.
I sense a change. This place may be hostile to our presence.
Ah, I think the house objects to uninvited guests. I share this sentiment, truth be told.
An unseen hand at my throat, another squeezing my lungs. We're not welcome here.
Aye. This house gives no kind of welcome, Boo.
Strudge. More trouble.
Rumbled. Sounds like this place doesn't care for intruders.
Feel that? Heavy air. Maybe cursed. Well, bring it on, I guess.
Of course this place is rigged. Now to find out the manner of our imminent demise.
Hells, my skin's gone colder than the beasts of the dale. Seems intruders aren't welcome.
I don't know what's happening with that body, but it looks very creative.
Oh, looks like a necromantic ritual of some kind. One long abandoned, judging by the smell.
A grim sight. One that smacks of necromancy.
Ugh, always some foul ritual or another. Something of undeath about this one, I think.
A ritual so lurid, even a geich might be impressed.
Aye, avert your eyes, Boo. You have seen enough necromantic rituals for one little life.
Why must necromancers always be so messy? Ugh, disgusting.
A rather creative show of butchery. A necromantic ritual, perhaps.
A death ritual, I wager. Necromancers love that sort of thing. Gods, even a freshly opened grave doesn't smell this rotted.
More stacked corpses than a charnel house.
Well, hello, beautiful. If only it was fresh.
Well, there goes my appetite.
A foul collection. Something must feast upon all these bodies.
Chuck. One corpse is a trophy. This is madness.
Food for some kind of horror pet. Joy.
More bodies than a battlefield, and none of the glory.
Strudge. This reminds me of my ceremony of graduation. What a day that was.
Sometimes having a sense of smell is a true curse.
At last! That dusty pile of bandages was getting irritating.
Only mummy I ever liked is the one who raised me.
Mystic carrion. That miserable pile of bandages gave rotten meat a bad name.
The mummy's soul lingers like an unclaimed fart. We must banish him in truth, unless we wish to do this again tomorrow.
Carrion's presence still lingers. He will return unless his ties to this plane are severed.
It's finished. Fucking hell, the city's changed.
Thank Mother Gith I'll never lay eyes on that revulsive horror again.
The undead is unmade. Made dead, I mean.
We could burn the remains to be sure, but I think the pompous bundle of bandages is dead.
Carrion's dead, and with his heart destroyed, he'll stay that way.
His necromancy is shattered at last. He'll not trouble this plane again.
Huzzah! Carrion's gone. I can't feel a single trace of his spirit.
The mystic soul is gone for good, and he is carrion in truth. You may unpeg your nose, Boo.
Well, something's happening.
The tower's defences are powerless now. Quite literally.
A good sound, I hope. We have triggered no trap, at least. Yet.
Ah! The wizard's tower whines. It is beaten, I think.
Well, they look exquisite and extremely pilferable.
A cut-rate wizard like Loroakan shouldn't have such treasures. Better they sit in the pockets of a superior wizard.
Messy little wizard. He didn't tidy his toys away.
Well, looky there. Tempting offerings.
What does it Faerunians say? Ah, yes. Seekers, takers.
Look, Boo! The silly wizards leave their treasures in plain sight.
Souvenirs. Free for the taking, it seems.
Well, it would be a shame to leave these behind, wouldn't it?
Look there. I bet we could put curios like that to good use.
That was almost too easy.
Excellent. This couldn't have gone better. A spell like that couldn't keep a twig blight at bay.
The wizard might have warded his treasures better.
Well, hell! Come to Mama!
As if a touch of magic could keep us out.
Aha, Boo! Our trinket for the taking.
Looks like this is free for the taking.
Silly wizards. Can't they ever use a simple lock?
The key is free. And it looks fancy. From the counting house, maybe.
The gloves are off, I see.
Success. Those magic gloves may prove useful.
Perhaps stealing from wizards is not the wisest course. Consider me reformed.
Ugh. Why can these mages not use locks of honest flimsy iron?
What's yours is mine.
It's free to take, I think. Else the wizard would have built a better lock.
Gloves for Minsk. Or perhaps a bedroll for Boo.
Gods! What are these wretched things?
Hells! Just when I think we've seen the ugliest things yet.
Hells. Beautiful merfolk these are not.
Ghastly things. No wonder they usually lurk in the depths.
What the hells are these?
Away, fish folk! Your salty flesh is bad for Boo!
Now the watery depths spew out creatures to attack us. What next?
Hells, more gills than a fishmonger's stall.
More of those bloody fish? God, it never ends.
These merfolk are not half so comely as the songs say, Boo.
Nobody thought to warn me that Baldur's Gate is frequently assaulted by foul-smelling fish creatures.
Hells! What are those things? As pungent as they are vicious.
Well, that was foul. All the way from its wretched tip to its vile tail.
What in the name of Sylvanus were those things? I've never seen, or smelled the likes of them.
Foul things. To show themselves by light of day.
Stink like fish, die like fish. Never heard of one attacking the city before, though.
Sahuagin. Rare to see them this close to civilization.
Why do these fish folk walk on land? Feast not on their flesh, Boo. Their brains are obviously spoilt.
Was that fish, frog, or the result of some sorcerous mishap? Whatever the case, it was foul.
Oh, those things smell like a fishmonger's unsold stock. What are they?
Nasty blighters. They smell like a fish barrel left to rot in the sun.
That's the stench of a sea devil, all right. Rare to see them here, though.
What's going on? Sea devils never show their faces this often.
A simple spyglass. Unsophisticated, but effective.
I spy with my little eye. Nothing of note, really. I never cared for spyglasses. Watching things from afar is hardly fun.
No time for stargazing. More's the pity.
As if there were not dark and light enough down here to gaze at.
Big shiny eye.
Observe, Boo. Perhaps we shall see your miniature giant space mother soaring across the skies.
Perhaps one day we will learn to conquer the stars.
Useful for spying threats from afar, I suppose.
Loved these things as a kid. I imagined so many stories in the spaces between stars.
Look there. That fool beast thinks to ambush us.
My, a mimic. I'm the last one you've tried to ambush, you craven thing.
A poor imitation. I see you, you sneaky little shapeshifter.
Come out, little mimic.
A monster masquerading as furniture. Clever.